All right. Let us see here, testing audio and everything. I think everything is looking fine. And compared to last month, I think my mic audio is definitely louder. I don't know what was happening last month with that, but for the most part, I think we are ready to go. Um, so yeah. Welcome everyone, Sasuke Uchiha here. Welcome back to the channel where of course it is almost the end of August. Two Blue Vortex chapter 13, aka the start of volume 4. So I mean, I think compared to previous chapters, I haven't seen much spoilers apart from the official stuff on the Naruto website. So yeah. Hey Gerance, what's up, what's up? Wow, go on, welcome to the welcome to the stream. Of course, share out, like up and thing. You know, by right, I should even share this out on Facebook. Walande, peeps, walande. I mean, it's late to the party, but you know, just give me a second. Give me a second. Let's see here. Let's see. If I share this out. Close that. Alright, think that is good to go. Alright, so I guess without further ado, let's get into it. I'm still kind of iffy on how I have the chat box kind of set up below me here, but I guess it's whatever. So let me just kind of fully turn down the music and let's get right into it. Alright, so Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 13, Prescience. Interesting title. Of course, if you Google Prescience, just a little yeah. The fact of knowing something in advance, foreknowledge. Alright, cool. Which I think is, you know, rightfully titled, given that Kashin Koji seemingly knows everything. But anyway, let's get into it. Maximize this. All right. Music. Yo. OG Brosif. Yeah, I'm here, man. What's up? What's up? This week, I don't know, I just kind of feel out of it this week. I'm just kind of ready for this week to just end, honestly. I'm just, yeah, just one of those weeks. Welcome, man. It's been a little while. Hope you've been doing well. Alright, so let's get into it. So, of course, we had Jura doing the sniper rifle Biju Dama. Alright, you're an intriguing lad. I regret doing this, but farewell, Otsutsuki Boruto. And then, ooh, whoops, am I interrupting? Mamushi, what is it? And that's interesting, it's the first time we're actually getting the bug, Shinju's name. Which I wonder why did we have to wait that long? But anyway, Matsuri's back. Based on our investigation, it seems like that Boruto has an accomplice. Oh, okay. I see, so that's his source of intel on the Thorn Soul Bulb and such. Hey, that Thorn Soul Bulb you're holding. Did Hidari get himself killed? Our foe is formidable. Let's retreat. We can't let Hidari's bulb rot. Otsutsuki Boruto, you are a truly lucky man. It's as if the heavens are decreeing that you remain alive. Perhaps this is some divine intervention. Okay, Boruto barely conscious. Getting the well-needed flashback right now. Alright, Boruto, when he had that Sasuke haircut, he's gotta still be nearby. Find him. Damn it. I finally found you, Boruto. A toad? There's roughly 20 shinobi in the area. You're trapped, Boruto. And yet, you can't really kill innocent folk. Who are you? Relax. I'm not a foe. If I were part of the search party, I'd have alerted them already without engaging you in small talk. True. Spill it. What's your motive? Let's get you out of here first. Touch the toad's back. Okay, there isn't any time to waver. No matter where you end up, it'd still be better than here, right? Or are you scared of toads? Alright, touch it. And somehow... Oh! Summoning Jutsu. Boom. And we have Boruto here, finally meeting Kashin Koji. Where are we? Near the Land of Wind, one of Orochimaru's abandoned bases. Okay. I've camouflaged the already inconspicuous entrance with Genjutsu. We won't be found that easily. By the way, that toad is a scientific ninja tool. He's structurally identical to a real toad, except man-made. So man-made toads, interesting. I manipulate him remotely using my chakra. That was me you were talking to, not the toad himself. Who are you? You seem to know me. Does this ring a bell? Oh, right. Got that Kashin Koji and Boruto I've already met. That mask? No way. I am Kashin Koji, an artificial creation brought into being by Sanzu Amado. Yeah, where did he just bring the mask from? Minor, I know, but I have to look back. But anyway, I'm going forward. Kashin Koji, how could I forget? You're the one who killed Mr. Ao and tried to kill me and Master Konohamaru too. Can I verify just one thing? Have you been Uzumaki Boruto from the moment you were born up to now? Huh? Yes or no? Answer me straight. You know of it. Of omnipotence. Omnipotence, huh? Inside my head, you are Boruto, Ishiki's vessel who fled Kara. My perception is that Amado and I helped you break out, but I'm wrong, no? I don't know a whole lot about the ability you call omnipotence. However, I do have an appreciation of the results it brought about. So, that day you were chased from your village, it appears everyone's memories related to you and Kawaki did get flipped. I don't understand. Clearly omnipotence affected your memory as well. So how are you able to grasp the actual state of things so objectively? Because I knew that the possibility this would end up happening was high, ahead of time. Interesting. What? I owe you an apology. Even if it was to stop Ishiki, I still followed orders and fought all of you. For that, I am truly sorry. I'm a shinobi too, I know the weight of a mission. Plus, the frustration of not being able to vindicate oneself, as someone who's experienced that for quite a long while now. As you already know, I was created by Amado in order to defeat Ishiki, and consequently stop this planet destroying Divine Tree plan. His power far exceeded any of our imaginations, but I was satisfied because I had completed my duty the moment I managed to drag him out of Jigen. Yeah. I had no fear nor any regrets. I could leave the rest to the Hokage. I just quietly awaited death. And then... Ooh, hold on. What's going on? Sasuke, Baryon mode. It happened suddenly, but as I watch various scenes flash by one after another, I realized that these were glimpses of future realities. So wait, so Kashin Koji can... these aren't even like, say... I'm kind of glad they're not doing like any weird parallel universe type of thing. But these are just legitimately kind of like the future. Which is kind of, I guess, similar to Momoshiki's ability to glimpse into the future as well. Unless... Okay, I'm theorizing when I should just continue reading. Unless it's as most persons think, and Shibai's DNA is in most of the members of Kara. And maybe in this moment, maybe Kashin Koji probably unlocked one of Shibai's abilities to probably just temporarily glimpse into the future. Or maybe it's like a Otsutsuki thing, who knows. But it would still be from that DNA. But anyway, let's see what happens. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we have Jura Hidari, Matsuri. I've already forgotten about Shinju's name. I have to go back to it. But yeah, we have a new Shinju, interestingly enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Hmm. Interesting. I realized Ishiki's death wasn't enough. That until Ten Tails itself was destroyed, this planet would continue to be in danger. So there were still things that I needed to do. I couldn't afford to die there. Since then, by comparing what actually took place against the myriad of visions I saw that day, I've deepened my understanding and conviction about this ability. Are you saying you knew Omnipotence would flip Miyankowaki's position before it even happened? That's right. Although there are parts I'm confirming for the first time through this conversation, since my perception is that Kawaki has always been the Hokage's son. So what is this ability anyway, and how did you come to have it all of a sudden? I'm sure Amado's told you about Otsutsuki Shibai. Okay, same thing. Otsutsuki, who devoured countless planets long ago, acquired all sorts of shinjutsu and was even called a god. Otsutsuki Shibai. Each of us Kara members who was given enhanced modifications by Amado received transplants of Shibai cells without Okay, yeah, see, so it makes sense. It makes sense why all members, I mean, apart from the reminiscent of the Android saga and Dragon Ball, and the scientists on Earth can just make cyborgs way stronger than the strongest things before. It makes sense why I guess all the members of Car were so busted in the grand scheme of things, even Delta for the most part, in the hopes that we would manifest at least one of his many shinjutsu, though whether we'd successfully gain any ability was a matter of luck. As a result, Code makes claw marks, Daemon can reflect all attacks, and Ada has her godlike abilities, but neither Boro, Delta, nor I demonstrated any Shinjutsu. And yet, when cornered by Ishiki, upon facing almost certain death, one abruptly emerged. The ability to see all possible futures. Prescience. Wait, nah, hold on. One of them full like a Jura, a Yua back from Bleach. It's, well, I mean, you can't really change the future, but I mean, still. But in the grand scheme of things, dog, like all these things considered, Shibai is absolutely busted. Like, it's crazy. I mean, come on. Anyway, all possible futures? This may sound obvious to you, but our future isn't simply one straight path. Many narratives get snuffed out based on which branch of each multi-forked crossroad is taken. It's a battle royale between destinies, so to speak. Take one fate we've already escaped. If Ishiki had killed the Hokage, he'd have resurrected in Kawaki's body and planted a divine tree. The planet would have perished. What? That ended up not happening, but there was a sufficient likelihood it would. Another example, the day Kawaki caused Hokage to disappear when the two of you quarreled, say Kawaki had managed to kill you, as well as Uchiha Sarada who tried to help. In this case, you and Kawaki would never switch positions. Kawaki would go on to lose to a tremendously strong Code and be devoured by Ten Tails, and then a divine tree would destroy the planet. It is difficult to prove what I've seen, especially the events that didn't occur. What I want you to understand is that our future has continuously been walking a dangerous tightrope for several years now. That's one downright crazy story, but I can't ignore the fact that you really get what happened thanks to Omnipotence, despite how extraordinary it is. I'd rather not believe that you really saw all futures, yet it sure seems to not be completely baseless bull either, I have to admit. That's fine, I'll take it. Thank you. One question, aren't things just gonna happen a certain way no matter what? So seeing all sorts of futures, how is that useful? The biggest advantage is intel. For example, your life on the run, it could prevent you from ending up cornered like earlier. Yeah, that would definitely be helpful. Or I could impart to the present you moves and jutsu future you has mastered. Oh, interesting. Wouldn't that accelerate learning and optimize training? Whoa, that's super awesome. That's possible? There's no timeline paradox, since I'm only relaying what I saw. It's totally standard procedure for prescience. I'll also tell you how to rescue Uchiha Sasuke from his tree. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense why Koji knows all this information now. So, So I'm thinking if it's kind of similar to Ada's Senrigan in the sense that since Ada can view everything at any point in the world from the moment she was born up until this current point, conversations, everything, yada yada yada. I'm wondering with this ability if it's kind of like the reverse. Apart from the obvious, seeing the past, the present versus seeing, possible futures. I'm wondering if it's a case where, Koji can like just see and hear conversations in all these possible, different realities in the grand scheme of things. Interesting. I'll also tell the idea, but first I need you to understand the very worst future that's possible right now. The very worst future? Ten Tails will break free of Code's control and evolve in a new way. They will likely show up before us as multiple Divine Tree people who possess individual minds. It would be ideal to dispose of Ten Tails' root and branch before that, but the likelihood we'd succeed is low. In nearly all the futures I see, there are Divine Tree people. And most dangerous among them is their leader, Jura. Jura? Boruto. He is going to kill you. It's not an absolute thing, but many futures show it happening. And what follows is pretty familiar. Well, similar. Kawaki gets devoured, and our planet dies. Obviously, this must not come to pass. We can't let this worst case become reality. As I mentioned earlier, there are infinite possible futures, and through you learning about this now, our future has already started to change, one tick at a time. Just know, Mr. Koji, whether it's stopping a Divine Tree plan or whatnot, I'll never agree to any option that involves killing Kawaki, understand? Cause knocking sense into my idiot bro and restoring the Uzumaki household is my goal. Whatever the case, Ten Tails is in my way, that much is clear. So don't bother wasting your breath. I'll do it, finish off Code and Ten Tails both. Alright. Back to the present. That was a very interesting flashback, I'm not gonna lie. Boruto. No, don't move. Alright, stranger. The bone is fine, but damn it, I think the nerves are damaged. Never mind me. Please triage Boruto. Himawari waking up. Oh, Mr. Nishi. Himawari, you've come too. Does anything hurt at all? She's injured. Oh, hey. Let me see. Oh, nice. She just has control of the Nine Tails. I like it. Can just heal people. What? No way. I'm healed? What the heck's going on, Himawari? Since the injury wasn't that extensive, I think this'll do it. Himawari, help Boruto too. Boruto, he came back? Hold up, Himawari. Don't go near him. Big bro? Kawaki, you? Don't misunderstand. I'll let her heal him. We just gotta do something first, right? Master Konohamaru? Huh? Yes, indeed. Can't miss this perfect opportunity. Master, what are you? Move aside, Sumeri. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Of course, placing Boruto in cuffs. Amado's custom sealing jutsu cuffs. Now he can't use any type of jutsu. Master Konohamaru, don't complain, Sarada. It's a measure dictated by the law. We need the intel he possesses. Alert, Lord It. Isn't this Kashin Koji's? Oh shit. Oh, what is it? Nah, nothing. What a bothersome turn of events. Alright. Jura placing Hidari's Thorn Soul Bulb. And of course, Hidari's back. Well, Hidari, any problems? Who knows? I can't tell. I see. Seems you know that you're Hidari. Good. Your identity appears to be strong and intact. Jura, isn't it time? You know, for that, I'm chomping at the bit to see what's gonna emerge. Fine. Harvest it. Alright. That Thorn Soul Bulb. Now, what to name you? Alright, obviously this new sentient Shinju, a new Divine Tree person is going to be coming up, and obviously they've already kind of shown us who it's going to be. Well, based on Kashin Koji's view of the future. So, Honestly, this was a very interesting chapter with a lot of the context that we've been missing in the grand scheme of things. So clearly, Boruto was still on the run naturally after Sasuke got sealed, and Kashin Koji, being Kashin Koji, really came through to help him out there. And given that his time with Kashin Koji would be over the span of 2 years, so all things considered, it makes sense why Boruto like is as strong as he is. Apart from discussions and little factors we've considered before, but the fact that he knows Flying Thunder God, the Rasengan Uzuhiko, all sorts of things. It's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. And again, getting confirmation, which is of all members of Kara having Shibai's DNA essentially cells. It's the new Hashirama cell, basically. So that also explains why members of Kara were that strong, even if like for the exceptions that he mentioned, like Boro himself and Delta didn't really unlock any Shinjutsu per se. I would expect there were some, how should I say, buffs or passive like increase in stats just by getting Shibai cells, because obviously it's not like their bodies rejected the cells, kind of like how Danzo had issues controlling Hashirama cells, or that was like a recurring thing when it came on to Hashirama cells within Naruto. That doesn't seem to be the case when it comes on to these members of Kara. So getting that little tidbit is definitely a good a good touch. Mamushi. Okay. So this chapter is more than interesting. Of course, it's very flashback heavy, but it also explains how Kashin Koji even like knew all the things he knew, because up to this point I was wondering, like, these are concepts like the Thorn Soul Bulb, the fact that looking back at it, the fact that Boruto even knew that was warning code, like, yo dog, just take me to the 10 fields before X, Y, and Z happens, all of that. This chapter just fully fills in the blanks when it comes on to that. So I I really appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. But I'm kind of it kind of feels like Kishimoto was self-aware when it came on to introducing this ability, because he had Kashin Koji mention like, yo dog, no worry, there's no paradox. Everybody knows when introducing matters of like time travel or seeing the future and all of that, things can become messy if you're not careful. So it kind of feels like there was some sort of self-awareness when it came on to that. Hold on. I just want to kind of go back over this section here. Is that what you're seeing? Flashback, yeah. Glimpses of future realities. Conviction about this monster. Conviction about this building. Saying new obsessed with being called this caucus has always been off by son. The weather with some again. Matter of luck. Let's see, man can. Oh, so the claw marks. Wow, so the claw marks are also Shibai's ability. It's crazy, dog. It's actually crazy. Yabora Delta, nor I straight in Shinjutsu, and yet twin corner by Shiki. Pawn. I'm wondering if age is like a factor in terms of developing any ability, because obviously Daemon, Ada, and Code, in comparison to Delta, Bora, and Koji, they're younger. So I'm wondering if that's a factor in them developing abilities. And even looking with Ada and Daemon, given how their eyes are, obviously they've really are the ones who have been affected the most right now by Shibai's cells. Wait, H2O? Well, go on. I just got back like 1 week ago. You just had me. Yeah, true. Yeah, if I'm like you just hearing on the radio that person still didn't have light, that was actually crazy to me, dog. Insane. I think there should be some meeting going on between JPS and the government regarding the 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 time frame that they've had, or in terms of their lack of re-establishing lights. That's actually insane. But I'm glad you have light back, because honestly, for that long, like over a month, it's crazy. It hasn't been. It's been more than a month, right? Give her, yeah. That's crazy. Past futures percent. Anyway, back to this now. I'm just kind of just rereading this section with Kashin Koji's ability to see the futures. It's not. It's all now. In Kawaki's body, I'm planting the divine tree. A planet would have perished. Special livelihood. The Kawaki cause Hokage disappear when the tool. Strong code, be devoured by 10 tails. Yeah, true. No, but I can't refer that you. The hell is that you saw? For example, your life on the run, it could prevent you from ending up cornered like earlier. Yeah, that would definitely be helpful. Or I can oh, that's timeline paradox. Yeah, this is the part I'm getting to. There's no timeline paradox, since I'm only relaying what I saw. It's totally standard procedure for prescience. There's no paradox. Double chapter though, so much info. The timelines concept is really cool. It's like a multiple, but isn't, because those timelines don't exist all at once. They are possible outcomes of the one. Yeah, it's kind of like you have multiple decisions, but the timeline gets cemented once you make a decision, just like actual real life. it's basically that, but it's just it's kind of like one possible future is like you might say, oh, Boruto knew this, I'm gonna just look on the knowledge of that, and then we just kind of relay that here, and then it becomes like a new, I guess, let's just like a new timeline, but you know, you guys know, basically. But that's interesting though, interesting. So honestly, all things considered, right now, I don't want to hear anybody. I don't think anybody's complaining in terms of like, oh, Boruto too strong. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's 100% Otsutsuki. I mean, what, 82 or 84% Momoshiki, and then 16 to 18% his own unique Otsutsuki DNA. He's an Otsutsuki that been trained for the last 3 years, with one of those years being, of course, by Sasuke, who, by all stretch of the imagination, is still in the top 10 in the verse. Boruto himself was already a genius, basically. He was already, I would say, if you take karma out of the equation, I would say probably maybe even low tier Jonin level already, basically. I mean, if he has techniques and stuff from the future, like one of his possible timelines, and like, you know, what he has now, Uzuhiko, I think would be one. So, well, thinking about it, if Uzuhiko is one such move that he would have mastered in the future, I'm wondering at what point or where he would have learned that from without Kashin Koji's influence. And once we actually get to that point in this timeline now, what happens? You know? Yo, welcome Korish Vlogs. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. So, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll tell you how to rescue Uchihas from his tree. And the rest of this right now. But again, based on, I'm wondering to what degree Kashin Koji has control over this ability. Granted, as he's implied that he's had some time to kind of refine it, essentially. But if he's saying most of the futures he's seeing has Jura killing Boruto, I'm wondering, like, well, then again, as I said, there's infinite possibilities. So, yeah. And this one tends to with that. So it's slow, yeah, futures I see. In nearly all, so not everyone, they are divine tree people, and most dangerous among them is your leader, Jura. Jura, Boruto, he going to kill you. I'm saying about many futures show it happening. Okay, yeah, so he does see some futures where it does happen, but a lot of the futures he does. It must be an interesting ability because when you think about it, at each moment as time is ticking right now, like, the possibilities are endless. So as I said, yeah, it's infinite possibilities, honestly. It's interesting. I have no idea where he could have learned it. Maybe a future occurrence didn't happen or Kawaki died because there has been a time where Boruto kills Kawaki. Yeah, that could be a thing for real. Hold on. I can't remember, can't ever. Infinite possible futures and 3. Come to good time. Yeah. Yo, the man really have the Sasuke look right here, the dog. Honestly, it's crazy. So definitely a solid chapter, but you know, coming back to the present now, where we have Himawari waking up and just healing persons, all of that, like it's interesting. I'm really interested to see where things are going to go between Himawari and Kurama in terms of the dynamic and where her power progression, where her arc is going to lead her. And what's good now is that since Boruto is in captivity and you know, Kawaki is, you know, well, it's not really being too harsh, I'd say, quote unquote. I'm wondering what the, as per usual, the interpersonal, the intergroup dynamic or conflicts are going to be, you know, similar to like how Mitsuki has that kind of gnawing sense, like, you know, Kawaki is supposed to be my son, but he's not really, something feels off. I'm wondering, I'm looking forward to an arc like that with Himawari and see where that goes. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, that was embarrassing. Respect H2, whoever totally forgot. Yo, oh my god. Oh, I would say that, like, Mahito and Ghetto. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. But I was saying, like, you would think that he would have pulled like a douchebag move, but you know, he was like, oh, let's play it according to protocol. And of course, Konoha agreed with him. But the fact that he even crushed the frog, I'm wondering how he's going to benefit from that. About some turn of events. Of course, Hidari is resurrected, and they're about to release another new Shinju. Man, jeez, man, just wait another month. God. But yo, awesome chapter, awesome chapter, awesome chapter. I mean, again, we didn't get much present day, but again, the fact that we got to fill in the gaps when it comes on to Kashin Koji and how he and Boruto met, how Koji and by extension Boruto knew the information that they knew, and you know, in a sense, it kind of, even though you would have already expected it to be a flashback when Two Blue Vortex started, it kind of helps to, you know, not slow things down in the beginning. You just have Boruto coming and doing this, kind of builds that mystery, like how did he know this? And yeah, we fill it in here, getting some not retcon but retrospective information for why these members of Kara were, you know, so powerful in terms of, apart from the cyborg enhancements in this whole modern age of scientific ninja tools, but having Shibai's DNA, so it makes sense. It's not some weird Dr. Juro, I can just make androids stronger than Super Saiyans random madness. There's actually context behind why they're so strong. And not that we didn't already have context for why Boruto is so strong already, but the fact that he even got additional stuff from the future, you know, it makes sense. Kind of tying up those loose ends, if I could say so. So there is that. And with all, or with most of those, you know, little tidbits filled in, we're ready to really move into some interesting directions when it comes on to chapter 14 and beyond. Even though I'm still I'm really ready to move past Konoha, dog. Like, come on, fam. What is everybody else doing? Like, shit. But yeah, man, awesome chapter, awesome chapter. And then looking at this new Shinju. It might just be because of the something, but it just feels Naruto-esque. Like it's something based on Naruto, but that wouldn't be possible considering Naruto's in the Daikokuten dimension. So yeah. So I'm kind of wondering now, who is this, you know, Shinju based on? Which of course adds to the mystery. What's Jura based on? I mean, there is the, you know, the theory that it's Jigen or some Ishiki based, but what if Kawaki has Shibai cells but activates later down in the series? That wouldn't be surprising, you know, because as Kashin Koji would have said, hold on. Since first feature. Hold on. I already passed it. I think I already passed it. Yeah, I definitely already passed it. Each of us Kara members was given enhanced modifications by Amado, received transplants of Shibai's cells without fail. So, I think it would only be logical to conclude that Kawaki does have Shibai's cells as well. And if the way, if my observation is accurate, then the fact that Kawaki is younger compared to, say, like Boro or, you know, Delta, then how old is Delta? That's the next question. But anyway, the point is, I'd imagine that his like ability is going to activate at some point, more than likely. Yeah, I know, but before this, Amon said 7 cyborgs and then switch topics. So what is Amon hiding from Kashin Koji? You know, maybe shaky. The tool is self-destructed. Yeah, it's hard to say. Amado's definitely hiding something. Even though I'm still kind of, thinking that maybe it's going to be just like what's the term? It's not bait and switch, but It's like, okay, we kind of led you to believe that or assume that Amado's hiding something, and then it's like disappoint all of us and reveal that Amado hasn't been hiding anything. That would be funny. It's like, yo, we as a fan base just kind of thought that Amado was like super sus all this time when he was telling the truth. But a character like that guy must have something in his back pocket. So, Kawaki should give us a why. So, will they give him Shibai cells? Yeah, he is something that is vessel, but the fact that he is modified as well, that's the point that we're trying to get at. So it wouldn't be surprised. We're not saying he does, but it wouldn't be surprising it's revealed that he does have Shibai's or some of his cells. It wouldn't be surprising. And all things considered, even though he might pull like a kind of hypocrite move, like on some Goku Black thing where, I hate all mortals, but I'll take the body of a mortal to actually kill all mortals. Maybe Kawaki will train a bit, and having Ishiki's DNA essentially advances pretty fast, but having Shibai's DNA / cells as well could help to accelerate and really help him to catch up and be like a super incredible rival for Boruto, honestly. So you kind of have to look at that nuance when it comes on to how does this affect the power scaling. Maybe Shiki wanted more godlike powers, maybe some that he would not gain from the chakra fruit. Yeah, just maybe. Just maybe. Yeah, and then maybe like his DNA interacting with Shibai's maybe would have led to something extraordinary. Because, I mean, think about it. Shibai is crazy. All things considered, if all these characters really and truly do get the abilities from Shibai, right? Ada, she has, omnipotence, of course, as well as the Senrigan. She can, the raw definition of the ability. She can create worlds. She can make anything reality, essentially. And of course, she can see into the past from when she was born to know every bit of information, all of that, dialogue, conversations, all of that. And who knows, more than likely Shibai can do it on a grander level, maybe from the beginning of time. Who knows? Of course, Damon, ridiculously powerful right now, the strongest person in the verse, arguably speaking. Of course, he can reflect attacks once he's touching somebody else, and not just attacks, but killing intent, essentially. So if you even think it, as long as he's touching something, then boom, he can reflect the end result on you. Of course, Code has the claw marks, which is similar to the flying Raijin, essentially. And now Kashin Koji can see the future, like all possible futures, essentially. Like, if you put all of that into one character, which is Shibai, it's crazy when you think about it. Someone has a should get doubted. He just keeps on getting crazy. I mean, the ability alone is overpowered even for a godlike being. If Mara didn't give himself Shibai cells. Yeah, well, that's the next thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Amara has Shibai cells as well. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that he implanted all of this so they could specifically or hopefully unlock Shinjutsu, I'm wondering for what purpose. Is it as straightforward as that? But what's behind that goal of like, let me just hope all the members of Kara unlock all these ridiculous busted godlike abilities, fam. Because because think about it, in the grand scheme of things, Konoha, they weren't necessarily supposed to like find out about Kawaki, right? Like Amado and Kashin Koji kind of like were like double agents, essentially betrayed the organization. But like, who are Kara really going to fight with all these godlike abilities? Like, I'm thinking about it. Why was it necessary for them to potentially unlock Shinjutsu? You get what I mean? Because Kara, for the most part, they've been operating in the shadows. It's not like the Akatsuki are like them, even though the Akatsuki were kind of discreet in some sense. But it's not like the Akatsuki who were like going around and getting TLBs. Like the car were like really discreet. It's just like happenstance why they got discovered. So what was the purpose? You know what I mean? Like why? Who were they gonna fight? I'm really like I'm starting to question it, you know, who were Kara going to fight? Unless is there some details I'm forgetting? Let me know. Please. Please. Honestly. Yeah, a powerful organization, but again, it's not like with the Akatsuki where like or probably Obito and like Pioneers like, okay, if we're gonna go over TLBs, we need to like gather like some super S rank bingo book criminals or anything. But Kara is like, okay, they've obviously been operating in the shadows for a long time. Well, for a while now. Maybe probably maybe 10 years, maybe since between the era of the last Naruto the movie or that era when Naruto was 19 till now, maybe about 12 15 years, maybe, give or take. But it just, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but it's just like you have to question it. It's kind of like, oh, but before we got to the Boruto era, like, oh, Kaguya was building an army. Like, an army? For what? It's kind of like on that level. Yes, that's true. Maybe we're praying for the Otsutsuki clan to arrive. We need that lore. I honestly think seeing the Otsutsuki clan main plan society would be so great. Their end goal was to end the plan. They will have to face every shinobi in the world. Well, true. True. But think about it. Let's say Amado. Let's say Amado wasn't like a double agent. Him and Kashin. Let's say they weren't traitors, right? Kawaki doesn't. His airship doesn't escape. It successfully transported to wherever they were transporting it. Fine. Kawaki eventually becomes 100% Ishiki. Ishiki feeds himself to the Ten Tails and then revives in without anybody necessarily knowing. I can see it as a precaution where like, okay, just in case, fine, but for the most part, it seems like all of this could and would have happened in the background without most shinobi even knowing. So, you know, yeah, but it could be interesting for like the Otsutsuki coming, like, oh, just in case. If they were, let's see, they couldn't do shit. Yeah, that's true. Like, hindsight is 2020, William. Welcome to the stream, man. I hope you're doing great. Hindsight is 2020. So that if they were weak, yeah, they couldn't really handle the situation that actually happened. But I'm just thinking from like the onset of the organization, like, yeah, we can make these persons strong as a precaution. But to get them to the point, like, okay, we need them to unlock Shinjutsu from Shibai, that seems like, oh, really excessive. But what's the point? Shiki was the only being strong. Building armor for the clan. No, we know that, but I'm just kind of saying it's on the same level of that. So, yeah. Maybe they ended up like the Kryptonians, man, still ready to destroy their own plan, now just hop from plant to plant. That could be an interesting way to go about it with the Otsutsuki. No, was to end the plan. But I don't know, guys. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about the chapter? I mean, some persons I imagine have problems with stuff with two blue vortex up until now, but for the most part, I think it's been solid. But the question is, where do we go from here? The Boruto prisoner arc, the breakout of prison Boruto Boruto arc. Yo, honestly. And if with Boruto captured, I'm wondering if it's going to be a case where, and with the frog gone too, there's no communication between him and Koji. Will Koji make a move? That's the next thing. If he feeds himself, who would eat the chakra fruit? Yeah, in that situation I was describing, he would have just resurrected into Kawaki's body. So that would have been the case. And then he would have just come back for the chakra fruit. So, like they would describe. What's going to be interesting too, going forward, chapter 14 and beyond, is that with Boruto captured, and of course Shikamaru being another character that knows the truth, it should be interesting seeing Shikamaru and kind of navigate playing both sides. So Orochimaru experiments were pointless. In terms of what, William? In terms of like the Hashirama. One problem, Kishima needs to stop edging us with 1 month release of 3 weeks or 2.5 would make me suffer, but I guess quality over quantity. Yeah, yeah, I mean we've spoken about it being monthly to death at this point. It's not my cup of tea either, but that's more likely not going to change any like any at all. Yeah, as William's saying, it's been monthly for years, since 2016. But yeah, it still is. It's still rough when you hit that final page and it's like, shit, chapter done. I'm never gonna wait another month. So yeah, I can understand person just never getting used to that. But hey, I must say it definitely is better than the situation that Black Clover is in right now. So I mean, comparatively speaking, thank the heavens all the same. Could be worse. Could be worse, because right now it feels like Black Clover is just it just feels like it's just disappeared into with the current release schedule for it. Did Ishiki want to destroy the planet or not? If he did, war with the Favage will be inevitable. Well, yeah, like most Otsutsuki, plant the divine tree, get the chakra fruit, etc., etc. So yeah, pretty much that. So there's that. But unless the members of Kara would have been saved, they would have the members of Kara would have obviously died too, unless Ishiki planned to save them, because he implied that everyone would have gotten their wishes granted, whatever those wishes were. So so pretty much that. Any guesses who you think the new Shinju is based on? And then, while we are guessing in terms of who the new Shinju is based on, Shinki? That would be a nice way to segue. That would be a nice way to actually segue, like, the involvement of, like, another set of characters or village. Because based on how things are going, Matsuri and Mushimi, they would have gone to do some investigations in the background. So who knows? Maybe they would have bumped up into other characters from other villages, and that would have been a nice way to actually, like, segue into start including those characters. But again, we have to wait and see, because as we say month to month here, so they're only really a tight-knit group of characters that the Boruto manga focuses on, really and truly. But that would be a nice way to actually segue and go to the Sand Village, like you're saying here. I am not going to lie. YouTube Studio. Think about it. Boruto's arrest put Shikamaru in a tight spot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be interesting to see Shikamaru, like, kind of navigate and play both sides in terms of information and thing there. Granted, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, it's like when everybody's gone, Shikamaru just kind of goes into the room and say, yo, talk with Boruto then, more than likely. So there is definitely that. It's time for a reread. Yeah. Looking back at the start of this chapter though, where we have Boruto on the run. Of all 2 Blue Vortex chapters, yeah, a reread wouldn't be too bad. It's just a shame I can't read all of it on Manga Plus, I'd have to use like one of those cancellation sites. Either that or I guess on the Manga Plus like app itself could read everything. Oh, I must say I definitely love this cover of Boruto here. Definitely. But it kind of makes me wonder, Boruto aside, if Kashin Koji himself has taken it upon himself to learn anything new as well based on the future. So it's a full summer can decay based on what Jura said. Bring Sasuke back. Uh, yeah, it can decay. That's a good question. Like, if it decays, is like all hope lost to bring back the person in question? That's the next thing too. Hmm. Hmm. Such. So let's retreat. We can learn as well brought. Good question. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, he's everything like man, so Sheniko's good. True. Hey, anybody watch well I would imagine a lot of you already watched Deadpool and Wolverine. Calverine. Yes, sir. Da, 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 da. Then Jutsu. And the fact that we're in one of Orochimaru's old hideouts. When are we going to like? When are we going to involve this man? Because interesting. I've been thinking about it because I've recently rewatched part one Naruto, like all of it. Well, with the exception of the filler for the most part. And I'm currently in Shippuden. I'm actually watching with Ray, my friend Ray, that did the Attack on Titan reaction review with me for the final episode of Attack on Titan. So I've been introducing him to a bunch of anime and finally into Naruto, and we're in Shippuden. And given Orochimaru and his whole quest for immortality and learning all these jutsus, it feels like this whole thing with karma and the Otsutsuki and all of that would have been like a natural progression to with Orochimaru's arc. So honestly, I think it's wasted opportunities to not include Orochimaru more in this whole dynamic. yo, that was funny in terms with Henry Cavill in the movie, dog. Right, of course, was saying it will be 400 Shinju. I don't think I recall him saying. Hold on. Ring a bell, Kashin Koji, yada 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 yada. And I realized, so there was still something I needed to do. I couldn't afford to die here. Since then, my son vision about disability. Are you saying? It's okay. Prescience. This may sound like but yeah. I should destroy the planet. Here's no. Yes. Trust it. Also, my friend need understand the version of that's possible right now. First, we should intensely break free of course control involved in a new way. I show before us as most divine tree people. And now looking back on this scene right now, right here, it kind of feels like a Goku and Trunks moment. First, this individual minds. I know it's a slow. Let's see. They're divine tree people. Yeah, it didn't speak in terms of the quantity. Translation I read. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of why I usually just wait until the official release of the translations come out, because I don't want to look too stupid. Where like I take one detail and then I stretch it out into all these discussions when that wasn't the case, you know. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm saying like 400. I don't remember seeing like a specific number. So not gonna lie. Oh boy. But all in all, solid chapter. I don't really have any complaints as per usual. Is it me? Let me know. Obviously, I'm not the biggest literature major or anything like that, and even though I've been doing videos and reviews and discussions and all of that, and kind of I've gotten a hang of how X and Y works in terms of what works on me, at least story wise. But am I too easy on Two Blue Vortex? What do you guys think is what has been like one or two bad things or bad writing moves you think Kishimoto has made since Two Blue Vortex started? Let me know. No. Let me know. Because it feels like most chapters I'm saying like, this was good. Next month, oh, this was good. Next month, oh, this was good. Give me something to complain about. I don't know. Well, not really, but you guys get where I'm coming from. Is there something I'm not seeing? Something I'm not like criticizing right appropriately? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. Yeah, true. True, true, true. There are a lot of different stories among them. Boruto is very good. The only thing I've seen is the world building and use of characters other from the main, say 6 or 7 characters. Complaint issue was the fast pacing, but now I don't mind it. Alright, alright. Yeah. Again, I mean, it's something that we've talked about to like extreme to an extreme here already. But yeah, the fact that we are really and truly only limited to a certain circle of characters for the most part. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think I've said it in the past. Like for right now, for Two Blue Vortex, I think the faster pacing is to the benefit, and that's only under the assumption that we want to use, or will eventually use, the anime as the final version of the story, because with it being fast paced, the story can reach further faster, and at least when the anime comes back, when it's filling in stuff, it's like, oh nice, they kind of padded this with some nice connection points, nice ways to kind of make this feel more filling, more fleshed out. Like you can fill in those spaces, kind of similar to like how One Piece is doing right now from the manga to the anime, where yeah, the pacing technically still sucks, don't get it wrong, but at least those additional fight scenes, etc., like it really does kind of add those quality. It's like those quality of life additions essentially. So the fast pace, I think, is a good thing, but that's only when you're judging it in comparison or in conjunction with the anime or future anime. But if you're, I guess you could judge it if you're just looking at the manga as like a standalone. But so I don't mind the pacing. I don't think the pacing is bad. Don't think the pacing is bad at all. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this one, guys. I don't know if I'm missing anything. This is where One Piece shines. The world building is astronomical compared to any manga. I also use a correct, but it does have flaws as well. But I think no story can be perfect. Yeah. One Piece definitely has its flaws, definitely. But yeah, the world building, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Everything just feels like alive, connected. It's like, oh, there's this section of the world, so kind of what's going on here, these factions, all of that. So yeah, I mean, right now, again, if Boruto can somehow manage to include more characters, that would be nice. But again, my educated guess is that, again, the manga right now, with its fast pacing, is just a blueprint and will somehow get the final version of this when it comes on to the anime. So bring the emotional weight to the table. Yeah, true, true. Even though some person might consider Full Metal Alchemist the perfect the perfect story. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I love there are more females involved in fights like Himawari and Sarada. True, true. And you know, in retrospect, even looking back at but yeah, it's not that we still had a decent amount of female characters involved in fights. I mean, I know that a lot of persons like Sakura, but you know, Sakura, Tamari, maybe not so much Tenten, Tsunade. But yeah, in terms of like numbers, Naruto still had more. But I get where you're coming from, because it does seem like we're setting up for Himawari and Sarada to be consistently involved when it comes on to the fights, compared to a lot of the previous like female cast of characters, I would say. So understood. You know what just came to mind? Oh god, like maybe they did this in a novel or something, but it's just so weird to me. Like Conan died and like nobody like went back or talked about her. Or, I don't know if they covered it in a novel, maybe, but yeah, it's just weird to me. That just came back to me. Like Conan died and just that's it. That's it. Nobody like, oh, like Naruto's like, oh, that one girl in the rainy village, wasn't she there? You know, nothing like that. No fundamental outcome, but some locked in many things, especially in for us to me. But it's nice to turn the dog kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, the ending. I personally didn't have a problem with the ending. I thought the ending was pretty good. But to each their own. Yeah, I'm on backside. Yo. But yo, I think that's pretty much it for me right now, guys. Respect for coming out. Today is the 20th, so of course come out for the end of the month subscriber stream next week Saturday. There's a chance I could do it next week Friday, but yeah, you guys will know. It'll probably probably be on Saturday. Customers, I don't even care. Well, yeah, she was a Katsuki, but you know, she kind of made up with Naruto, and you know, these are the interesting things I think the Boruto, well, maybe the Boruto anime should have even tackled as well. Maybe through flashback, or maybe some pre-Boruto anime era stuff where, like, you know, stuff like, cause as I said, I've rewatched Naruto, and even things like, oh, Naruto addressing stuff in the Hyuga clan. I don't know if that, again, I don't know if that's something that's covered in a novel, but it'd be nice to see that. Some dynamics and relations with the Rain Village, that would have been nice too. You know, some little stuff where you could have followed up on from Naruto, essentially. Again, like I was saying during the stream here, Orochimaru, I think, even though Orochimaru is mellowed out now, I'm definitely sure they talked about the relationship between Orochimaru and the village in like the novels, etc. But like, I think given his arc and what we're dealing with now and who he was, is going to be as a character, I think like there's like a natural evolution or natural way you can continue his arc when it comes on to what we have here going on in Boruto. So, you know, some of the things I'm thinking like, yo, yeah, maybe the Boruto anime could have touched on a bit more. But anyway, whatever. I'll save this next one. Yeah, man. So respect for coming out, guys. Thanks. Nice stream. Can't complain. So yeah, Sasuke Uchiha here, and see you guys in the next one.